So we're prepping for a wholesale merchant in fruit and vegetables interview.
Lots to unpack there.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
We've got some great RoleCatcher resources to help us kind of get a feel for this. And not just the usual interview tips,
Right.
but like what does this career actually look like?
Yeah, it's more dynamic than people think, I think.
Okay.
When you say fruit and vegetables, you just think of, buying and selling.
Right. Just like,
But it's so much more than that.
okay, so let's dive into it.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher has some sample interview questions.
Okay.
And one of the first ones is, what motivated you to pursue a career as a wholesale merchant?
Oh, that's a good one.
It seems simple.
It does seem simple, but you can't just give a generic answer.
Okay.
You need to show them you're passionate,
And
that you understand this career path.
all right, so what would be like a good versus a bad answer, I guess?
A good answer would be something that shows you thought about this.
Yeah.
What sparked your interest? Was it the supply chain management side of it? Okay.
Or maybe you just love fresh produce
Uh-huh.
and you're driven by that. Or maybe it's the fact that the market is so fast-paced and ever-changing.
So instead of just saying, I like food,
Exactly.
I need to really dive deeper.
Exactly. You need to you've actually thought about this and you're not just applying to any job out there.
Now, what about this one? How do you stay updated on market trends and consumer demands?
Ooh, that's another good one.
Can I just say I read the newspaper?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You got to show them you're more proactive than that.
Okay.
So mention some industry publications,
Okay.
websites, or even social media groups that you follow.
Oh, interesting.
Have you attended any trade shows?
Yeah.
Mention that. The key here is to show that you're actively seeking information,
Yeah.
not just passively absorbing it.
Not just waiting for it to come to me.
Exactly.
I like that. And what's cool is RoleCatcher's AI
Yes.
can actually analyze your answer
Yeah.
and suggest industry-specific resources to kind of beef it up. It's like having a personalized research assistant right in your pocket.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. How do you negotiate prices with suppliers?
Ooh.
This one seems like a bit of a tightrope walk.
It is. It's about collaboration, not confrontation.
Okay.
So highlight your communication skills.
Uh-huh.
Give an example of a time you negotiated a win-win situation.
Okay.
Maybe you found a creative solution that benefited both sides and the supplier.
So it's not about me winning and them losing?
Exactly. It's not a zero-sum game.
Yeah.
It's about building those strong relationships and ensuring everyone feels good about the deal.
So I need to show that I can build strong relationships and I'm not just there to haggle over price.
Exactly.
I was just looking at the RoleCatcher guide, and it mentions that wholesale merchants often specialize.
Yes.
Some focus on specific types of produce, others on particular customer segments.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And that specialization could influence how you approach negotiation. Dealing with a large supermarket chain is different from working with a small independent grocer.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, you need to adapt your style to your audience.
All right, let's get back to these questions.
Sure.
How do you manage stock levels and ensure timely delivery of produce to customers?
Okay, so this one seems straightforward, but don't underestimate it.
Right.
Remember, we're talking about perishable goods here.
Right.
Freshness is everything.
Yeah.
So you need to show you understand inventory management systems,
Hmm.
forecasting demand,
Mm-hmm.
coordinating with logistics providers to get that produce where it needs to be when it needs to be there.
No pressure.
Right.
But it sounds like organization is key.
Organization and attention to detail are absolutely essential.
All right, what about this one? Can you describe a time when you had to resolve a conflict with a supplier or customer?
I'm sure everyone has a story about that.
Yeah.
But you need to choose one that highlights your problem-solving skills.
Okay.
Walk them through the situation. What was the conflict? How did you approach it? And most importantly, what was the outcome?
Okay.
Did you have to adapt your communication style based on the person you were dealing with?
So it's not just about saying we had a disagreement and it's all good now.
Exactly. You need to show how you tackled the situation strategically and effectively.
I wonder if this is where RoleCatcher's AI video practice tool could come in handy.
Oh, definitely.
Like I could record myself answering this question
Yeah.
and get feedback on my delivery.
And your body language.
Yeah,
Because sometimes we don't realize how we come across.
that's true.
And the AI can pick up on those subtle cues
Right.
that might be sending the wrong message.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Hmm.
How do you ensure that the produce you purchase meets quality standards?
Another crucial one.
I'm guessing they're looking for more than wool, and it looks good to me.
Right. You need to show expertise.
Okay.
So discuss your knowledge of industry grading standards, inspection procedures, and maybe mention some specific technologies that are used to assess quality.
Interesting.
Do you have experience working with third-party inspection agencies?
Okay.
That's valuable information to share.
So be prepared to talk specifics.
Exactly, not just generalities.
All right, next up. What strategies do you use to maintain strong relationships with customers?
Oh, okay.
This one seems like it could apply to almost any job.
It's true, but in this world, relationships are everything.
Yeah.
So think about what sets you apart.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go the extra mile to anticipate customer needs?
Okay.
Are you proactive in resolving issues?
Uh-huh.
Do you have a knack for building rapport?
Maybe I could even mention a specific example of how I went above and beyond for a customer.
Get them a concrete example.
Okay, last question for this round.
Yeah.
Can you describe a time when you had to make a difficult decision related to purchasing produce?
All right, decision time.
They really want to see that decision-making process.
They do, because it's a crucial skill for a wholesale merchant. So think about a time you faced a dilemma. Maybe a supplier had a quality issue, or market prices fluctuated unexpectedly. How did you weigh the factors involved?
Okay.
What were the potential risks and rewards?
So instead of just saying I made the best decision I could at the time,
Right.
I need to walk them through my thought process.
Exactly, and show them how you arrived at that decision.
Wow, this is fascinating stuff. I'm starting to feel like a wholesale merchant already,
That's the idea.
just from these questions.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Oh, well,
There's so much more to explore about this dynamic career path.
I can't wait. But for now, let's
Let's take a pause.
let's take a quick
A
pause
breather.
and come back, ready to delve even deeper into the world of wholesale merchants.
Sounds good.
All right, see you in a bit.
Welcome back.
Okay, so we tackled some tough questions.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for more.
All right, let's dive back in.
The RoleCatcher guide kind of hinted at the demanding nature of this work, like long hours and intense competition.
Yeah. It's not a 9-to-5 job, that's for sure.
So resilience is key,
Definitely.
but it also mentions potential rewards too,
Oh, actually,
like career advancement and maybe even starting your own business.
you could even become a trading director.
Okay, and what would that involve?
So essentially, you'd manage a team of buyers and sellers, making those high-level decisions, about what produce to source, where to distribute it, that kind of thing.
Sounds like a powerful position.
It is. It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back to those interview questions.
Yeah.
What else did RoleCatcher have for us?
Okay, so this one focuses on teamwork.
Okay.
How do you ensure your team is motivated and productive?
Okay, so even if I'm not applying for a management role,
Right.
they still want to see that I can work well with others.
Exactly. Teamwork is essential in any business.
So I need to show them I can contribute to a positive team environment.
Right. So think about times you've helped colleagues.
Okay.
Maybe you shared your knowledge of a particular market trend.
Or helped resolve a conflict.
Okay.
Did you ever take the initiative to organize a team project? Or maybe streamline a process, make things more efficient?
Those are great examples.
It's all about demonstrating leadership qualities, even if you haven't had an official management role yet.
I like that. Okay, now this is a question that always makes me nervous.
Okay, what is it?
What are your salary expectations?
Oh, yeah, that one's always tricky.
I don't want to undervalue myself,
Right.
but I also don't want to scare them off with a number that's too high.
It's a delicate balance.
It is, so what's the best approach?
Well, research is key.
Okay.
RoleCatcher actually has salary data for similar roles in your area.
Oh, wow, that's helpful.
And you can use their AI to analyze the job description
Okay.
and get a sense of the expected salary range.
So I can go into that conversation feeling confident.
Exactly. You'll know what's reasonable.
Okay. Back to the nitty-gritty of the job.
Sure.
What about those specific skills they're looking for? Well, the guide emphasizes understanding produce grades and standards.
Okay, like what kind of thing?
Do you know the difference between U.S. No. 1 and U.S. fancy grade apples?
To be honest,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know a fancy apple if it hit me in the face.
Well, that's something you might want to brush up on.
Okay.
It shows attention to detail
Yeah.
and a commitment to quality.
You're the expert.
We're the one ensuring that produce meets those high standards.
That's true. And speaking of expertise,
Yeah.
RoleCatcher's AI can help me identify any skills gaps I might have.
Oh, yeah, it's a great tool for that.
It analyzes the job description and compares it to my resume and experience.
Exactly.
And it highlights areas where I might need to brush up.
Like a personalized skills assessment.
Yeah.
And it can even suggest online courses or
Oh,
certifications.
that's amazing. Okay, back to the interview.
Okay.
What other challenging questions should I be ready for?
Be prepared to talk about technology.
Technology, okay.
A lot of wholesale operations are becoming increasingly digitized. They're using inventory management software, online ordering platforms, even data analytics to track market trends.
So being tech savvy is definitely a plus.
It's a huge advantage.
Okay, so maybe I should mention any experience I have with relevant software.
Definitely.
Or my willingness to learn new systems.
Exactly. Show them you're adaptable and eager to embrace new technologies.
And RoleCatcher's AI can help tailor my answers to highlight those skills.
It can definitely help you showcase your tech savviness.
Okay, but let's not get too carried away with all this tech talk.
Right.
Let's get back to the human side of this job.
The guide also mentioned building rapport with suppliers.
Yeah.
They're your partners in this business. So how would you foster those relationships?
Well, I think it's all about clear communication, mutual respect, and being reliable.
Those are all important qualities.
Would they expect me to share specific examples of how I've built strong supplier relationships?
It wouldn't hurt to have some stories ready. Maybe you negotiated a favorable contract. Or helped a supplier resolve a logistical issue.
Those are good examples.
And speaking of stories,
Yeah.
the RoleCatcher guide also mentioned the importance of telling a compelling story.
About my passion for this industry?
Exactly. It's not just about ticking boxes on a resume.
Right, it has to be genuine.
You need to convey that enthusiasm.
So back to that first question.
What motivated you to pursue this career?
This is where I can really shine.
Exactly. Share a personal anecdote.
Okay.
A memorable experience. Anything that shows your passion for this world.
So my enthusiasm needs to shine through.
It should be evident in your answers and your demeanor.
Yeah, and that's where RoleCatcher's AI video practice tool can help.
It's like having a personal coach.
Yeah, giving me feedback on my energy,
Your body language.
my overall presentation.
Exactly.
I'm feeling much more confident about this interview now.
That's great to hear.
We've covered so much.
We have.
Technical skills, relationship building, even showcasing my personality.
And we're not done yet.
Oh, there's more.
There's one more crucial aspect.
Okay.
Ethical considerations.
Oh, right.
It's not just about buying and selling produce.
Yeah.
It's about being responsible for a vital part of the food supply chain.
Okay, that leads us perfectly into the final part.
Where we'll explore the ethical dimensions of this career.
And give you some final thoughts and tips.
Exactly, to help you ace that interview.
All right, stay tuned. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've covered a ton of ground prepping for this wholesale merchant interview, but let's shift gears a bit.
Time for the big picture.
Okay.
The ethical side of this career.
Right.
It's not just about profits,
Yeah.
you know? It's about responsible sourcing.
Yeah.
Food waste, a whole chain.
The RoleCatcher guide touched on this. Sustainability is a big concern these days.
Yeah, for sure.
So how would you say wholesale merchant balances that
Right?
with the need to, make money?
Well, it's a constant juggling act. But you got to think about the long term, too.
Okay.
So choosing suppliers who prioritize sustainable farming practices,
Okay.
maybe even local growers when possible.
So it's about making choices that benefit the whole system,
Exactly.
not just your own bottom line.
The big picture.
Yeah. Could this even be something they ask about in the interview?
Oh, I think it's very likely. They might ask about your knowledge of fair trade practices or how you'd handle a situation where a supplier wasn't meeting ethical standards.
That's a good point. It's not enough to just know about these issues.
Right.
I need to be prepared to talk about them.
And show that you're committed to those ethical practices.
Yeah, and this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be really helpful.
Oh, absolutely.
Their system can analyze my answers and suggest ways to incorporate my knowledge of sustainability and ethical sourcing into my responses.
It's like having a conscience built into the software.
I like that. Okay, any other final tips?
Where preparation is key, of course.
Yeah.
Use all those RoleCatcher resources to research the company, the industry, even the people you'll be interviewing with.
The more you know, the better.
Exactly. The more confident you'll feel.
And don't forget to practice.
Oh, yeah. Practice those answers.
Yeah, RoleCatcher's AI video practice tool is great for that.
It's like a mock interview with a virtual expert who can give you feedback.
That's incredible. I'm feeling much more prepared for this interview now.
That's what we like to hear.
We've covered so much
Yeah.
from those specific interview questions
Uh-huh.
to career insights to ethical considerations.
It's all connected.
It is.
It's all part of being a successful wholesale merchant.
And remember, this is just the beginning.
The world of wholesale produce is dynamic and ever evolving.
Lots to learn.
Stay curious, keep learning,
Yeah,
and you'll thrive.
awesome advice. To our listener, we wish you the best of luck in your interview. And remember, you've got this. With thorough preparation and a little help from RoleCatcher, you'll be well on your way to landing that wholesale merchant role and making your mark on the world of fresh produce. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.